Timelines and determinism is what we talk today. People are never sure what's going on, and there is a lot of work of timelines, but then there's also fortune telling that has been throughout the ages that has proved to us we're following a certain path. So how can there be timelines and fortune telling that thousands of years ago is accurate now? How do we have multiple stories of Atlantis? How do we have multiple ideas of our life? How, why? Okay, I have some answers for you, because please get ready to open your mind, okay? We are in something your human self could never understand, but a net, a soup of a net, a spider web, but like in more dimensions than your human mind could ever comprehend. So we are infinity, okay? So when you are on a certain timeline, you can predict that timeline. However, at any moment in your now, you can change the timeline. So your timeline can shift into infinity and you will have different predictions. So because you're in that reality, when you hear about predictions coming true, it's because they aligned with your timeline, right? And even they don't always completely line up, because they might have been seeing a different timeline. And this is when things get really confusing and weird, because different things jump, different people jump together, and like all humans are still all together. Like you don't notice people just vanishing off the earth. That doesn't happen. But here we are, and here timelines are changing and everything's in flux. So what can you do to stay on your highest timeline? What you can do is be your highest self. Stay centered, focus up, and you will automatically align with your highest timeline. And if you want that to be with your family, which I do, I reach out to my guides and I try to align us together, but it is what it is, and the most you can do is your highest timeline. That is what you have control over. That is your business. That is your sovereignty. That is your freedom, and your power is your timeline. And that's taking your mind and focusing it on the reality you want without getting obsessed with the future, but you stay in the vibrational state that you want, in your own positive, semi-focused. It's a weird, you want to be focused but not rigid, because rigid will cause a determinism thing within yourself where this is what I must have. Now you're not going to get your highest timeline. You might stay on that thing you must get, but that might not actually have been what was best for you. And this is why people often will actually get and achieve what they want, but they're not happy, because that was not their highest timeline. That was not actually the best for them. So you want to aim towards what you want, but at the same time, you also want to stay in the flow of your own consciousness. This is you. This isn't giving your power away to guides. I mention my guides because that's my family and they have different souls. And I think of them like as ambassadors between our souls, and be like, oh, if they want to come with me, that's what I want too. Let's do it. Because I can't supersede their free will. Like maybe their highest timeline is something else. So you have to stay cognizant of that when you are setting your intentions and moving forward. This is why you can sometimes get into resistance, because, you know, certain family members that you insist on staying with might not in their highest. I know that's pain, but what you can do is stay in your highest timeline. And this should hopefully clarify some things. We're like, what's about timelines? Why am I here about a million different things? Who's lying? Who's telling the truth? Everybody has their own timeline. So maybe they're just seeing that as their timeline, and good for them. Like bubbles of ascension and all this crazy stuff. You know, the olden days, Jesus shall walk the earth again and we shall go up to heaven with him. Maybe in your timeline, you know, that's cool. But like we're all gonna have our own, which is weird. But if you imagine that the all is mind, God is infinity and beyond. So please expand your mind and you will see this. And just, if you can't see it yet, just focus on your highest self, your highest amount of centering, heart space opening. And we're going to get there, people, together. I know you can do it. I believe in you, and see you there.